All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. We've got a full 15 game slate after a wonderful 4 game slate yesterday, which was a little wild. But anyway, let's get into the recap from yesterday. So, not a great day, down 1.62 units, 1-4, or 1-3, sorry. Not the day we were hoping for. So, Seattle, Houston over 7.5. That ended at 7. Mariners +1, sweat free. They won. Diamondbacks race to 4 did not hit. Rodriguez under 6Ks. He ended at 6. So hook there. And then Philadelphia, Arizona money line. We ended up losing that one. So that stinks. And then we lost our fun parlay as well. But 2-2 on the day in terms of picks. 2-1 on our props, and we didn't give any nerfies out. So it is what it is. Let's kind of jump into this slate. Before we do, we'll kind of talk a little bit about standings and where everything kind of lies at the moment. So Phillies clinched, so they have nothing to play for today. I'm sure the celebration was pretty epic last night. We've got the Mets and the Braves going against each other. Very pivotal series. The Mets are a half game up in the wild card. Braves are 1.5 games back. So very pivotal series there. And then the Dodgers Padres. So the Dodgers are 3 games up on the Padres going into this start of this 3 game series. So really interesting matchup here. So it should be kind of an interesting go. All right, we jump into the first game here. Let's see, Justin Steele going up against Tanner Banks. So essentially this is a bullpen day for the Phillies. Steele 2.77 away ERA, 2 games versus Philly, 1 in 22 and 1 in 2023. Gave up 1 earned run in 11 innings pitched, so a .82 ERA. He's given up 4 earned runs in his last 3 games, 7 earned runs in his last 3 away games. Gave up 2 to Pittsburgh, none to the White Sox, and 5 to the Reds. So if we look at this game, I really don't see an angle to take the Phillies. I'm sure they're going to rest some guys. Literally, the game means nothing. So Cubs or pass for me in this one. Next game, we've got the Rays and the Tigers. So that is not Justin Steele for the Rays. It's actually Ryan Pepio. So error on my part. Pepio 3.47 away ERA, 3.64 ERA on the season. He is 8-6. If we look at Scooble, 2.13 home ERA. Pepio has faced this Tigers team 2 times already. 1.50 ERA. So only 1 time in 2024, which was back in April. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. If we look at his most recent trends, Pepio 4 earned runs in his last 3 games, 5 earned runs in his last 3 away games. That was against the Guardians, the Orioles, and the Mariners. If we look at Scooble, 2 games versus Tampa at home already this year. He is 1-0, no earned runs. He's pitched against them 4 games in total over his career. He's only given up 2 earned runs. So a lot of things going his direction. If we look at Scooble, he is 9-1 in his 15 home starts this season. So kind of hard to not back a guy that's only lost 1 home game this year. If we look at his recent trends, pitching well, 4 earned runs in his last 3 games, 3 earned runs in his last 3 home games. He has given up 1 earned run, or less, I guess, but he's technically hasn't pitched any shutouts, but 1 earned run in 5 of his last 6 or 7 games. So again, can't really find an angle to back the Rays. Bullpen for the Tigers actually best in baseball over the last 30 days. Rays are kind of trending in the opposite direction. They went from maybe top 2, top 3 to they've fallen to 11th over the last 30 days. Tigers are hitting right-handers very well, 261 over the last 14, 273 over the last week. Only concern here is just runners in scoring position, 203 over the last week, 238 over the last 14 days. But the Rays are significantly worse. They're sub 200 over the past 30, past 14, and the past 7 days. If we look at the pitch splits for Pepio, Tigers over the last 30 days, 4th in hitting the fastball, which Pepio throws 52% of the time. His other big changeup, or other pitch that he throws a lot is a changeup. That's a different story. Tigers are 28th in baseball over the last 30 days, so they don't fare so well off of that. The other pitch he throws is a slider, 18% of the time, and they're 12th in that. In terms of batter and pitch splits, Pepio 260 to lefties, 184 to righties. So he's been throwing the ball pretty well. Skubal 273 to lefties. So lefty on lefty does cause him a little bit of issues. 239 to righties. So pitching splits have actually over the last month favor Pepio. So Pepio's been pitching pretty well since he came back. Weather is a little bit of a concern in this one. There is rain expected, and we do have the wind blowing in. So hopefully the game gets played. I like Tigers to win this. You could take a first 5. I think a first 5 under. Pepio's been pitching really well. Problem is at a 7, your first 5 under is going to be 3.5. So a little sketchy there. But I like the Tigers. I just hate paying minus 180 for them. All right, we've got the Reds and we've got the Guardians, the Ohio Cup or the Ohio Series. I can't remember what they call it. Jacob Junis going up against Tanner Bybee. Junis 3.26 away ERA in 12 games this year. Bybee 4.39 home ERA this year. If we look at Junis, dude's been pitching really well. 3 earned runs in 5 starts. But he's only going about 4.2 innings. So he's not going for a terribly long time, but he is getting the job done. Last 3 games, he's only given up 3 earned runs. That was against the Cardinals, the Mets, and the Pirates. So he gave up 1 to the Cards, none to the Mets, 2 to the Pirates. We look at Bybee, 1 game versus Cincinnati this year back in June. It was kind of an interesting little game. 5.1 innings pitched, only gave up 4 hits, but he also gave up 4 earned runs, and he struck out 11. If we look at Bybee, recent trends, not so great. 7 earned runs in his last 3 games, which isn't horrendous, but home games have kind of gotten to him. He's got 10 earned runs in his last 3 home games. He gave up 2 to the Twins, 3 to the Rays, and then 5 to the Royals. Last 2 starts have been home starts as well, so he's given up 5 in his last 2 home starts. If we look at the Reds, since 2021 in this, whatever we call it, the Ohio Cup, Ohio Series, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, Reds are actually on top, 4 wins to 3 losses. So I would say Reds in this situation. Plus money, Junis is pitching really well. I like a Reds first 5 here. I really don't want to leave it to the bullpen because the Guardians do have a great bullpen. They're second in baseball. Over the last 30 days, Reds are 29th with a 6 ERA. So I really don't want to go beyond the time Junis will be in the game. So give me Reds first 5 in this one, or you could take their first 5 team total over 1.5. Might be on the best bets today. All right, next game, Brewers and Pirates. So we've got Tobias Myers going up against Bailey Falter. So Tobias Myers, 3.06 away ERA. Falter, about a 4 home ERA. If we look at Myers, he has faced this team twice already this year. He's 1-1 with a 0.69 ERA. So he's thrown pretty well against them. 13 innings pitched, 8 hits, 1 earned run. Pretty interesting. He's got 1 home, 1 away. So he's got a little bit of both. If we look at Myers, 6 earned runs in his last 3 games, although 4 of those came against the Diamondbacks at Arizona. He's given up 9 earned runs in his last 3 away games. Obviously, Arizona is in there as well. So it really hasn't been pitching too bad. If we look at Bailey Falter, he is 1-0 with a 1.23 ERA versus Milwaukee in 3 games. So he pitched against them 1 game this year, 2 games last year. So he's got a decent track record against them. He's given up 5 earned runs in his last 3 games, 8 earned runs in his last 3 home starts. 5 of those came to the Reds. So I like the Twins in this spot. I think, they had the day off. They clinched. I think they come back pretty strong today. I like them to get the win over the flailing Pirates. Another thing I forgot to note in the Reds game is they did fire David Bell. So could that cause some issues? I don't think so, but important to note anyhow. All right, Royals, Nationals. Cole Reagan's going up against Mitchell Parker. Royals are struggling. They've lost 7 straight, 2-8 in their last 10. Let's see, the Nats lost their last game 4-6 in their last 10. So Mitchell Parker, sub-3 home ERA. Reagan's about a 3 away ERA. So 2 decent left-handers going against each other. My only concern is Kansas City. Obviously, they are struggling. Now, they've only gotten 4 earned runs off the last 5 left-handed starters they've faced. However, you dig a little deeper into that, they face Blake Snell, Tariq Skubal, Carlos Rodon, Yusei Kikuchi, and Framber Valdez. five pretty damn good lefties. So I give him a little bit of a pass on that one. If we look at Mitchell Parker, he's given up 9 earned runs in his last 3 games, 5 earned runs in his last 3 home games against the Marlins, the Cubs, and the Yankees. So he's been throwing pretty well his last 3 home starts. If we look at the Nats, they're also struggling against lefties, kind of like Kansas City. They've only gotten 5 earned runs against the last 4 left-handed starters. But again, you kind of dig into it a little bit. That was Shohei Imanaga, Jose Quintana, Sean Manaea, and Max Fried. So 4 pretty decent lefties. I don't know why my nose is itching so much. 3 earned runs in the last 3 games, 8 earned runs in the last 3. So this is kind of an interesting one to me. I would go Royals here. Minus 170 is really high price to pay for a team that's lost 7 in a row. But they've got to turn it around at some point. Their hitting versus lefties has been abysmal. They're hitting 159 over the last 2 weeks, 125 over the past week, WRC plus over the last 7 days of 5. That is really bad. 100 is average. But if we look at the Nats, not hitting much better against lefties. 190 over the last 7. So there's definitely a path for the Royals to win, path for the Nationals to win, but just gut feeling, playoff time, that's really not playing for anything. Give me the Royals here. Parker giving up a 290 average to righties, 214 to lefties. Reagan's 143 to righties. So everything really, god damn it, what is wrong with my nose? Anyway, everything works in the Royals' favor here, but I could definitely see taking a Nats flyer as well. All right, next game, we've got Dean Kramer, Clark Schmidt, Orioles, Yankees. Should be an interesting game here. Orioles are 3-7 in their last 10, have lost 2 in a row, going up against the Yankees, who are 8-2 in their last 10 and have won 3 in a row, finishing that series sweep in what was it, Seattle? Maybe? I don't know. I can't even remember. Anywho, Dean Kramer, about a 4 away ERA. Schmidt, about a 4 home ERA. Very similar in terms of statistics. Dean Kramer, 5 earned runs in his last 3 games, 6 earned runs in his last 3 away games against the Red Sox, the Rockies, and the Mets. If we look at Kramer, he is 2-1 with a 4.36 ERA in 6 games versus the Yankees since 2022. Only one of those games were at New York, and he did pretty well. He went 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. So in total, he's got 33 innings pitched against the Yankees, 29 hits, 16 earned runs. So not doing too terribly bad, I guess. The earned runs are a little high, though. If we look at Schmidt, 3-3 with a 3.45 ERA in 9 games versus the Orioles. So very similar guys here. If we look at Schmidt, he's pitched really well. He's only given up 3 earned runs in his last 3 games since he's returned. Don't really see a spot to take the Orioles here. They've lost 2 in a row in Yankee Stadium. I like the way Schmidt's pitching. I could definitely see the Yankees just tagging Dean Kramer. So no spot for me really to take the Orioles in this. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a dicey one, man. A lot of dicey games today. All right, Blue Jays and the Red Sox. We were on Blue Jays yesterday. Red Sox thumped them. Can we say thumped? Yeah, I guess we could say they thumped them. Blue Jays did not show up offensively. Brian Bello going up against Bowden Francis. Francis has been real hot, and he's faced this Red Sox team. He's got 9.2 innings pitched versus the Red Sox. Hasn't given up an earned run. Only gave up 3 hits. He's faced them 4 times. 3 of those have been in relief. So really only 1 start. That start was August 29th in Boston. He went 7 innings, 1 hit, 5 Ks. So he's been blanking a lot of teams. He's given up 6 earned in his last 3, 5 earned runs in his last 3 home games. Gave up 1 to the Mets, 1 to the Angels, and 3 to the Phillies. So the Phillies are the only team that's really scored multiple runs off of him. If we look at Bayo, 8 games versus Toronto since 2022, and not great. Almost a little over a 5.5 ERA. So he's pitched 49 innings against them, given up 49 hits, 25 earned runs. He's faced them 3 times this year. He's got 16.1 innings pitched against the Blue Jays, given up 9 earned runs. That said, he's been trending pretty good. 4 earned runs in his last 3 games, 6 earned runs in his last 3 away games. Gave up 1 to the Rays, 1 to the Yankees, 4 to the Mets. His last 2 starts have also been away, so this will be his 3rd straight away start. Red Sox, good value if you want him at plus 114. I just can't back Bayo. Can't do it. I know he's been pitching well, but trends show that the Blue Jays really like hitting off of him, and his pitch splits just aren't good. Blue Jays fifth over the last 30 days hitting the fastball, fifth over the last 30 days hitting the slider. Those are Bayo's two main pitches. He is a three-pitch pitcher. He's a fastball, slider, changeup guy. So can't really trust him in the spot. Especially going up against Bowden Francis. So I do like a Blue Jays first five. If you do trust Bayo, maybe go like first five under type of deal. All right, next game. We've got the Braves and the Mets. Huge game here. A lot of playoff implications in this one. Spencer Schwellenbach going up against Luis Severino. Severino almost a 5 away ERA. Schwellenbach about a 4 home ERA. Obviously, this is a divisional matchup, so these teams have squared off a lot. They've played 10 games so far. It is split 5-5. Atlanta is 1-2 in the series at home, so they've played the games in New York. I don't know why I can't think of that. And then now we're heading towards Atlanta to finish up. So 2 series to 2 series. All right, so Severino. If we look at him, he has faced this team twice this year, both times at home. He's gone 10 innings pitched, so I think he went 5-5. 11 hits, 4 earned runs, so not terrible. He's given up 7 earned runs in his last 3 games, 8 earned runs in his last 3 away games. They've been kind of tough away games, though. He faced Philly, where he gave up 3, faced the Diamondbacks, where he gave up 4, and then only gave up 1 to the Padres. But a lot of his starts have been at home lately. If we look at Schwellenbach, he faced this team on July 27th in New York. He went 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs. He's given up 6 earned runs in his last 3 games, 7 earned runs in his last 3 home games. He gave up 2 to the Dodgers, 3 to the Blue Jays, 2 to the Phillies. I don't back Schwelly often, but this is a spot where I'm actually going to back him. So I would take the Braves. Hey, pay him -148. Technically, the Mets are the hotter team with the sticks over the last 7 days, but not by a ton. Splits Severino over the last 30 days been pitching really well in terms of his numbers. 140 to righties, 318 to lefties. Schwelly 303 to lefties, 188 to righties. This is just more of a home field play to me in this spot. So I'll take the Braves. All right, we got the Angels and the White Sox. I don't know if anyone's going to actually bet this game, but good luck with that. I'm not touching it. I would say give me the Angels. Kochanowicz has been pretty decent. Cannon at home's not terrible, but Cannon's 4-10 on the year. He's got a 4.61 ERA. Pitch splits look okay. I would say my issue with the White Sox is the hitting. Hitting 165 over the last 7 days against righties. 200 over the last 14, whereas the Angels actually aren't hitting too bad. 270 in the last 7. 258 over the last 14 to righties. Bullpen matchup definitely goes towards the Angels, although the White Sox are trending in a good direction. Now they're only 19th in baseball in terms of their bullpen with a 4.30 average. Angels are 5th with a 2.86 average. So the bullpen's been doing pretty good. Pitch splits, I would say, probably favored Cannon. Cannon giving up a 176 average over the last 30 days to righties. Kochanowicz 286. Kochanowicz 263 to lefties. Cannon 333. So kind of a toss-up game. That's why we see this at -122 in terms of the Angels. But yeah, just really, really poopy game. And I don't want to pick somebody, but I'll go Angels just to say I picked the team. All right, next game on the card, we've got the Marlins and the Twins. This line blew up. I did bet this last night. I got the Twins significantly cheaper than this, like way, way, way cheaper than this. It just blew up overnight. So you've got Bailey over going up against Ryan. Weathers over basically a 4 home ERA. Weathers a little over a 2 away ERA in 7 games. Weathers, this will really be his kind of second game back. First game back didn't go so well. 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 Ks. Ober pitching all right. Did give up some big games lately. He gave up 9 to the Braves. So there's definitely a path to take the Marlins at +200. But with all the playoff implications and the Marlins just kind of playing for nothing, give me the Twins at home. All right, Mariners and the Astros. Logan Gilbert, Framber Valdez. If we look at Logan Gilbert, about a 4 away ERA. Valdez about a 2.5 home ERA. If we look at Gilbert, 8 games versus Houston since 2022, 3 home, 5 away, 52 innings, has only given up 14 earned runs. He's got about a 2.4 ERA. In his 5 away starts, he's given up 8 earned runs versus this Astros lineup. So he's pitched very, very well against them. Recent trends, not as great. 8 earned runs in his last 3 games, 12 earned runs in his last 3 away games. So not fantastic in that spot. If we look at Valdez, 8 games versus Seattle since 2022, 4 home, 4 away. Not as good. 5.32 ERA, 6.71 ERA in his home starts versus the Mariners. So they've actually been able to tag him. If we look, he pitched against them May 4th, 5 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned runs. But recent trends, he's been pitching outstanding. 2 earned runs in his last 4 games, 1 earned run in his last 4 home games. So doing really, really well in that regard. Sorry, I keep hearing a noise, so I'm looking. Yeah, I would say give me the Astros in this. I know everything kind of says that the Mariners have success. They won yesterday. I just don't think they win today. So give me the Astros. I'll take them in this spot, especially at minus 130. All right, Cardinals, Rockies. Not going to talk too much about this game. It's not a game I would bet. I would just completely fade this game. I would lean Rockies at plus 100. That's all I'm going to say. Feltner's been pitching pretty well. 4 earned in his last 3, 8 earned runs in his last 3 home starts. That's not too bad for Coors Field. McGreevy basically has pitched 1 game, realistically, and it went pretty good, but we don't have a lot of data to go off of there. So I'm going to pass on that one. We'll move on to the last 3 games. Giants and the D-backs. Logan Webb going up against Brandon Pfaadt. I like to say Fat. Pfaadt's so boring. I'm going to say Brandon Pfaadt. Fat has got a fat ERA, 5.04 home ERA. He has been struggling. Dude has been struggling. He has given up 3 or more earned runs in 8 of his last 10 starts. It's not gone well. That said, he did face Milwaukee in his last start, pitched really well. 1 earned run. So he'd given up 12 in the previous 2 to Milwaukee and Houston. If we look at Logan Webb, he is 0-2 with 8 earned runs in 3 games versus the Diamondbacks since 2022. So he's got about a 3.72 ERA. He's given up 9 earned runs in his last 3, 10 earned runs in his last 3 away games. Gave up 3 to the Orioles, 3 to the Padres, 4 to the Brewers. So kind of a tough stretch there. I would say Giants in this spot. I really don't trust Pfaadt. I would say Giants first 5. I trust Webb a hell of a lot more. That said, the Diamondbacks against righties are 3rd in the last 30 days in fastball, 1st in slider, 2nd in changeup. Those are his main pitches. So they are literally top 3 in everything that Logan Webb throws. But they've been crumbling lately. Lost 2 in a row, 5-5 in their last 10. Giants have won 4 in a row. So really hard to back them in this spot. Rangers Athletics. I would say this is a beautiful Ranger spot. Eovaldi 2-0 with a 0.40 ERA versus the A's in 4 games since 2022. They have struggled to hit him. That said, he's been struggling a little bit. 13 earned runs in his last 3 games. Gave up 7 to the Blue Jays, 4 against the D-backs, 2 against the Yankees. If we look at Spence, he's faced this team twice already this year. He's got 8 innings, and he's given up 3 earned runs. But he's been pitching fairly well as of late. 5 earned runs in his last 3 games, 7 earned runs in his last 3 home games versus the Tigers, the Rays, and the Dodgers. But I would say beautiful Ranger spot. I'm actually going to trust Eovaldi in this spot. Last game on the card, Dodgers and the Padres. Huge implications in that in the West. So NL West matchup here. Landon Knack going up against Michael King. Like I said, Padres 3 games back. So if they could somehow sweep this, they would be tied. If we look at Knack, he's got a 3 home ERA. Knack 7 earned runs in his last 3 games since he's returned. Last outing, he gave up none to the Marlins. Before that, he gave up 5 at Atlanta and then gave up 2 to Cleveland at home. We look at Michael King, 1-0 with a 3.63 career ERA versus the Dodgers in 4 games. He's already pitched against this team 3 games already this season, 2 away and 1 home. He's got 15.1 innings pitched, 12 hits, 7 earned runs. All of the earned runs were allowed in Dodger Stadium. So he gave up 3 one game, 4 in another. I would say Dodgers. Give me Dodgers in this one. I'm not going to fade the home team, but this is literally the first and second offenses over the past week. So this should be a slugfest. I do like the over 8. That would probably be my favorite play. All right, pitching report. If you guys want a screenshot, maybe make some bets out of that. That's there for you. Spark factors. Again, screenshot, maybe help you make some bets. All right, rankings of best bets. Let's get into best bets for today. So I'm going to take the Reds first 5 over 1.5 at -130. Giants first 5 over 1.5 at -130. Again, Bot has just been giving up runs. I trust them. Toronto first 5. I like Bowden Francis against Bayo. Give me Baltimore, New York under 8.5. I think Kramer pitches pretty well. I think Schmidt pitches well. Baltimore's offense has been struggling, so I like this spot. And then Padres, Dodgers over 8. Parlays I like. Give me Yankees, Royals, Cubs plus 349. Tigers, Brewers, Braves plus 344. And then you see the fun parlay, the upset parlay, and some props I like. Like I said, 5 over 2.5 earned runs. Jacob Junis over 4.5 hits. Landon Knack over 4.5 hits. Ryan Pepio under 15.5 outs. Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So that is going to do it for today. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll catch you tomorrow.